Mommy, don't do that, because when we expected that you would say something, when Nigerians expected you would say something with the messiness around your son and his soon-to-be ex-wife, you were silent. Now you are begging Nigerian mothers to help you do what? A man that voluntarily went to Edo State.
To be 51.
They even told him, welcome to Edo State. They welcome you. Even if we're not sure whether you know exactly what you're doing, but we welcome you to Edo State. The man is in Edo State. Everybody knows he's in Edo State thanks to social media. So for Mommy, to come out and say that we should help her find her son, they should take off the bid. Mommy, we are not there. You say you know your son. We can't.
No,
okay.
You say you know your son. You don't know him all.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time! Roses are red and violets are blue. And if you're single on this table, the intro is for you!
That's so shady. That's so shady.
She looks like a red witch. Yes.
That's so shady.
I actually walked on that cackle.
Can someone please tell her to pipe down on the noise? Because, even if you're taking, it doesn't guarantee that anything's going to happen. So don't get too comfortable, because Valentine receipts will be checked. But my single ladies out there, I'm here for you. And if you don't get flowers today, don't worry yourself at all. At the end of the day, they will still spoil. So for those wearing white today, just hope they don't stain your white though. But I come in peace.
That's why you're wearing black.
Yes. She said
the opposite of Cupid.
How can you be so mean? The flowers will still spoil.
Won't they die?
Oh no.
Exactly.
You're supposed to hold on to them, nurture them as long and try as much as possible to keep them fresh until hold on a bit longer.
Did you used to do that? I used to dry flowers.
Yes.
I would take them upside down.
Then I would nurture them.
Put them inside.
I would even talk to them, nurture them. Don't
I've never done it, but I've seen it.
I just wanted to keep them
as
as Listen is looking at me like,
okay.
Yes.
We got gist for you people.
It's finally here, guys. February 14th. The one day where lovebirds shine everywhere. But listen, whether you're booed up, whether you're figuring it out, or you're just here for the chocolate and vibes, we've got something for you all today.
And that's something. Well, I want to get to the hot stories, but we need to lay the foundation, because yes, today is a special day, a day of love. And while I believe that love should be celebrated every day and not just today, it's okay. We're going to let you have your moments. No angry bird here. No angry bird. I won't mention any names. Did I call anybody's name?
No, you didn't.
Wait, why is the camera on me?
No, we can't help that.
Anyway, but the show must go on. So grab whatever you can. Let's get into it. Welcome to Jastiri. Now, while some are busy planning candlelit dinners, a Nigerian bishop is calling for Valentine's Day to be banned.
Yes.
Charles Ugele, he's the General Superintendent of the Holy Spirit Mission Church, has called for a ban on Valentine's Day to save youth from sexual immorality, saying that the celebration is associated with a demon called Cupid. But I thought Cupid was an ancient Roman god of love. Like, how? Bishop.
And
but to other people from other religions, they will always think of like Greek gods as demons.
Yeah, remember that there's the Greek goddess of love.
Yeah, Aphrodite.
There's also Eros.
Eros?
Yes.
He's not love.
Eros is
love.
I just said love.
Love.
Sorry, Eros.
Wow.
Eros is a type of love, like agape love.
Yeah.
Like the love you have for your brother. No, agape love is the love that we should have for every.
Yes.
Philia is like
Eros is not your
brotherly
brother.
city, the city of brothers.
Eros is not for your brother.
No, that's why I said agape. Auntie, listen. So anyway, let's also not forget that I was trying to make the point the other day that remember what Saint Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day is known for. Valentine's Day was actually named after a saint, Saint Valentine, who died on February the 14th, 273.
Jesus.
Yes, 273.
Sounds really weird.
Very weird and very old.
Yeah.
But it's actually coming from the Roman Catholic Church, and he was, there's a word for it, not sanctified. I'll come to the word. Anyway, he was a 3rd century Roman saint who commemorated in Western Christianity on February the 14th and in Eastern Orthodox on July 6th from the High Middle Ages. And his feast is associated with the tradition of courtly love. He was a patron saint of tourney, epilepsy, and beekeepers. He was also a clergyman, not quite sure if he was a priest or a bishop, in the Roman Empire who ministered to persecuted Christians. He was martyred and his body buried on the Villa Filomena on February 14th, which has been observed as the feast of St. Valentine since at least the 8th century. Bishop, you need to do your homework.
But the thing is, with all these things that St. Valentine did, I always love in it.
Thank you very much.
No, he was, so they said he showed brotherly love to persecuted Christians, that he used to go out of his way to try to take care of them as well. And so there's been, of course, you know, there are many saints in the Roman Catholic Church. This one has just, because it's love, throughout the centuries, it has built up this reputation, and then it has, of course, now taken on a life of its own.
So I also remember, because I went to a Catholic secondary school, and the story that we're told, and I just confirmed it, was he secretly married people, I think people in discrete locations, so people that were not allowed to marry. I don't know what their issue was with marriage at the time, so he secretly, you know, joined them together. So I think
an enabler
they called
of
him
love.
the saint of love. So that's
you really need such a saint to help you
But what the
perpetrate
bishop
your
is saying
secret.
is that a day like today becomes the day where there's all forms of sexual immorality in the
But
air.
Tolu, is he lying? A lot of people will sacrifice themselves today.
Because everybody just wants
by
a
November,
taste. Everyone wants a taste of love.
Report card will be showing
By November, by October.
October the end or into November.
Because don't forget, this is a whole month of love.
Yeah, so the love will keep creeping in.
Yeah, but can we really exist without some form of love? I don't think so.
No.
I mean, even in the olden days, if you're going as far as the year 200 and something, there's been all kinds of gods of love and goddesses of love. There was, even in Egypt, there was one notorious, well, among one of the, when I say notorious, like in very famous, Hathor, I think. Hathor was one of the goddesses of love in Egypt, love, beauty. So it's not a new thing for us. And the truth is, everybody's, even Blessings, I can say, she's looking for love. Everyone's looking for love.
Let me add a little bit to what the bishop said, because we should make sure we're saying what he said. So he was speaking in an interview with actually the news agency of Nigeria, and he said that the day has become misconstrued for the promotion of romantic relationships rather than its original promotion of aid to the needy and humanitarian works. But Bishop, St. Valentine was marrying people. Anyway, he described it as a deception from the devil to impose a universal day of immorality on planet Earth. And according to him, unfortunately, many boys and girls and married people have bought into this lie about love in disregard to the agape love described in the Bible. So he's saying not that we shouldn't have a day of love, but the day of love should be about loving your neighbor, loving your brother and your sister, and doing good for them. Treating them as you would have them treat you, rather than wanting to...
That's not Valentine's Day. That's not Valentine's Day.
I do not agree because, I mean, Valentine's Day is not...
Clap for Blessings. Yes,
no, let me talk.
There's hope for the tree.
So Valentine's Day is not the day to celebrate the love that already exists, because it's already existing. It's just maybe a day to like endorse it, but it doesn't mean that the lovers have not been doing things before that day, right?
Okay.
It's just the same way you're saying the lovers kiss under the mistletoe.
No, wow, so you know the kiss under the mistletoe, Blessings. Oh,
Wow, Blessings, you know so many things.
This girl's she's going to be so ready for this day to be over.
Is that why she's wearing black? Are you mourning her?
Hello, we have stories. Let's take a few comments. We can quickly get to them. This one says, well, I understand the bishop's point. Canceling the celebration of Valentine's Day won't stop sexual immorality, just what Blessings was saying. Sadly, we're at a point where waywardness and shamelessness have been normalized. It's a matter of upbringing and the dynamics of our entertainment. So families must step up and protect the innocence of their kids, and pastors like him must also step up and preach against fornication. By the way, talking about the celebration of a demon god, well, even Christmas has a similar historical context, but I can bet the bishop is celebrating Christmas yearly. So let's just teach people to reject immorality themselves rather than becoming theological police. May the Lord bless his church, and may the gate of hell never prevail against it. Someone says the Christmas, Easter, and Sunday church services are all Catholic practices. You can't just pick one evil and leave the rest untouched. What else do we have? He wants it banned because, let's move on. That's really quite shady. You can't prove what you're saying. Let's move on from that.
Shady.
Do we have any other comments?
Shady.
But I like this
shady.
one.
All right, let's move on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Bishop can say, well, he's entitled to his own beliefs and what he thinks of it. It doesn't mean that anybody is going to stop Valentine's Day for that
I love
reason.
Valentine's Day, guys.
Yeah.
So.
I don't care about any day. I just
busy.
care about flowers and cakes and everything.
so I didn't know that
Wine, hey.
It was intentional that Lola wore shades because she really wanted to shade me. Today has already started out interesting. Who knew that poor people would also collect stray bullets? But anyway, it's a Hot Topics Friday, and we've got more stories for you. But first, Jessiri on the Streets makes a comeback, and Mama Innocent has now made a video on Two-Face's new engagement. We have the details right here on Jessiri. Stay with us.
Right, welcome back to Jessiri. If you're just joining us now, well, we're just warming up. Now, in honor of the Day of Love, we took you to the streets to hear from you on what today will look like in the grand scheme of things, with the economy and people putting everything they can together for school fees and all of that. Did Nigerians really factor in Valentine's Day? Let's take a look.
The plan I have for my family, I'll take my children, my wife out, just buy something I have for them.
I'm getting married. Yeah, we're having our court wedding on Friday, myself and my wife. So we were giving dates, right? So I just thought that 14th is a nice day to celebrate. It's a day we celebrate love, right? So I just felt, yeah, it's a day we can just make the whole thing official. After the wedding, we go home, we flex, we do other things. Other things that couples do.
I don't have a choice. The kind of job I do, I'm going to be required to work on Valentine's Day.
We have plans for Valentine's Day. That day I'm going to be in school then.
It's been commercialized because I'm not understanding the prices of money bouquets and the giftings this time around, and everyone is always, I don't know, Valentine isn't exactly to me, isn't something you should be expecting money and gifts. I think it's just the time to just have fun with your loved ones and reconnect on a much more subtle and softer level. So yeah, I think that's and it's overhyped, please.
I don't feel pressured at all. Nothing bothers me, nothing pressures me, so you get. So I believe it's just a normal day to me because I share love all day. I receive gifts, but it's not actually on Valentine. I receive gifts naturally from people. I receive gifts from my family, and it's not really on Valentine's Day. So to me, Valentine's Day is just a normal day. It depends on my pockets. But if I'm buoyant as of that day, I would like to celebrate it. You know, it's a special day, truly, worldwide.
Oh, we need to wish Victor and his wife a happy married life. Today is their court wedding, so congrats on that.
Congrats. You can send us a picture. We might just flash it on the show.
But in all of that, you know, I like the lady who said she's not understanding the prices of bouquets. Yeah. I was taking Courtney to school and she was asking me, what are we doing? I said, who is we? You know, we want them to wear red and white. They did, but I saw so many kids wearing red and white as they were going. I said, first of all, who is the we? The second of all, I said, point at just like three, what do you call them, dispatch riders. You can see the red, you can see the teddy bears, you can see the flowers. I was like, go ask her that thing.
My Lord. So what are we doing?
Oh my God. But can I say something? Yeah. I'm the kind of person who would not want to get married on the 14th. Or on my birthday.
That's divided attention.
Yeah. It's divided attention. And so you get one gift. Do you get? And we're not praying for it. Should anything happen, I will not now be able to separate me and you from that day. Please pick another day.
If it's my birthday,
think about
I
it
don't
that
mind.
day.
No, I won't do my birthday.
So that means they'll just give you one birthday gift and your anniversary gift.
For me, I'm like, just pick something neutral. But I've never really thought about it. Now that Tolu mentioned it, I've never really thought
It's like
about it.
all those people that, it's like all those life moments that you're having.
Yeah.
You're graduating, the attention should be on your graduation, and then somebody's proposing to you. Maybe it's just me.
No,
I'm
no.
like, let me have one
I don't mind life double celebration on the same day, as long as it's centered around me. But when it's maybe your birthday, if it's my birthday, I don't mind. But like maybe on a random day, February 14, when they're celebrating,
who doesn't like attention?
Or December 25th.
We talked about it in the makeup room.
Okay, but then that's them. But if you know me, you know I like attention on the days that are supposed to be focused on me.
I like
For me,
do you like attention?
She's wearing red.
I like attention, but honestly, I know a lot of people will not believe it, but Valentine's Day for me all through my life has not been anything particularly special because I do have loved ones and we have love. I'm a very lovely girl.
Yes,
so half of the time it's in that space
because
like Valentine is for cuddle to me. Sit on a nice table or a chair, read a nice book with your partner, talk under your hand and eat something nice. Finish. But I took it all out. So now lovers have to come after.
We have a lot of stories.
Okay, now that we can finally move on from love and romance,
Yep.
we just want to give an update on the altercation that happened at Nnamdi Azikwe University on Wednesday between a lecturer and a student. Now, the Theatre Arts Alumni Association of UNIZIK has strongly condemned the recent assault on Dr. Chukwudi Okoye, a lecturer and their National Public Relations Officer, by an undergraduate student and are calling for her expulsion. A statement signed by the president as well as the general secretary of the association expressed shock and disappointment over the viral video showing the altercation. Now, the alumni body has called for the immediate expulsion of Ms. Gudi Mbakwe Chiamaka Precious for physically assaulting Dr. Okoye, citing the need to uphold the university's values of discipline, excellence, and self-reliance.
Wow, that's a lot.
All right, so the statement also commended the university authorities for swiftly setting up a disciplinary panel to investigate the matter. However, the Alumni Association insists that strict action, including expulsion, is necessary to deter other students from engaging in similar acts of misconduct. They further clarified that the viral incident does not represent the ethical standards of theatre arts students or the decorum expected within the university community.
Wow.
At least I want to know the I see their petition.
Yeah.
It's all right, solidarity. But I want to know what the school would be saying, the authorities of the school, what they would be saying on this particular matter.
Like they said they're investigating, so we have to wait for the consequences
I would
of their
rather wait because
investigation.
they're just saying their own what they desire, but I want to know what the school wants
And if
to
they're
do.
calling this an assault, why also not? Well, maybe it's not the school necessarily that press charges. If we're calling it an assault, that means it's a crime. Does he want to press charges? Is there going to be some kind of remediation? She's even in her 400 level. Again, remember we spoke about off air, and I think we said it on here. It feels like there's something behind her. There's an audacity that she has somewhere for her to have reacted like that.
Kind of impetus.
They probably will not suspend her because seeing that she's in the final year,
But
probably
she should
give
be
her some,
disciplined somehow.
maybe like 2 weeks disciplinary action. My own is that, like Lola would say, is it a PR thing? Because now you're hopping onto the fact that it's gone viral. I don't want to believe that this is a singular act. It always happens. This is UNIZIK. I'm not sure of the full meaning, but that's UNIZIK. So I'm wondering, are you now saying this because, you want to see that, no, we strongly condemn, we separate ourselves from this person? But if you look at it, I would say that most of the students have been doing it and getting away with it. And then theatre art, someone say, but she's in the creative department, or that's it's
So
by
she
default
creatively
of what
beat
she-
up her.
I didn't say that, but I'm just saying that is it a PR thing, trying to spin it around in their favor? We condemn that, or we don't. No, we just need you to know we
you
don't
saying
support this
creatives
kind
are
of
not
behavior and all that. I'm just saying that it is very.
Square is on
No,
that.
I'm saying that it's very rare and unlikely that it would be just a one-off incident by only her in that department, that things like this haven't happened, but this is the one that has attracted attention, so probably they are jumping on it to spin the story around. But time will tell.
I don't know if people can actually do things like this and get away with it.
Oh, they do.
I think that the
They
reason
do,
this one
Mama, they do.
attracted more attention is because it happened in a public space, and probably the man was calm. I come from a school where you don't greet
you repeat a semester.
That
shouldn't be so.
It shouldn't be.
I know exactly. So I'm saying that you cannot do this to Nigerian lecturers and get away with it. So the fact that he's even allowing the law take its course is commendable. But I wouldn't say that because of that they should now sweep it under the carpet, because we all know that investigations do not ever finish in Nigeria. Before you know, the girl has graduated, nothing has happened.
We just
and if they let her get away with this,
she will beat her employer.
Beginning of,
and I hope
it's not
Tolu
just her.
employs her.
Everybody in that
Tolu
school
cannot
will
touch
want
her
to do
with
the same.
And very quickly before we wrap up on this, there was another video that came out just after this of another girl. I think she was in a university in the north. I'm not sure.
But it was an old video though.
It was an old video, but it was just to show a contrast because there are different ways in which she could have reacted to this. The guy in that video didn't necessarily. I think he touched her too. He was coming up the staircase and he just, excuse me, something like that.
And he even told her to stop the video.
He just laughed and he walked on his way, and she too just laughed and continued.
It's
her
become
video.
viral on TikTok even. Students are doing that now.
Like a challenge.
It's become like a challenge, and then you stop and you know they do all of that.
Everything is a challenge.
That's what I'm saying.
And you
So
see, that's what they're not taking seriously. So, as Blessings is saying, if there's no sanctions and consequences for this girl, it just becomes another thing we do on social media.
A lot of
Australians are bad.
Anyway, there's so many stories. I would need to get to a lot of them today. So, girls, tip tap.
Are we ready?
Tip tap now because it's now love.
Wow.
But this has a little bit of love.
There's nothing I can do about somebody that is mourning love, wearing black on
This
a
is a
beautiful
little bit of
day.
love.
What's the opposite of Cupid?
They might.
What's the opposite of Cupid?
Hades.
Oh, okay.
Is Hades not the opposite?
Hades is the exact opposite.
He's the God of the underworld. God of the underworld.
That's the extreme.
Now we move on to one of the hottest topics this week, and that is the engagement of singer Innocent Idibia and Honorable Natasha Osawaru. While Nigerians have had a lot to say this week, we haven't heard from Annie, her family, or his. And now we woke up to a video from someone many of us will never have expected to have said anything. His mother, Rose Idibia, has publicly expressed her disapproval of her son's relationship with Edo State lawmaker Natasha Osawaru. Mama Idibia is seen appealing to Osawaru to free to face, citing concerns over his current state of mind and his ongoing divorce proceedings with his wife, Annie Idibia. She also called on all mothers in Nigeria to help her beg Osawaru to remove the beads she put on his hands and neck to please free her son. In case you think I'm fabricating, let us look at this motherly appeal.
Good evening, Nigerians. My name is Mrs. Rose Idibia. This message is for Miss Natasha Osawaru of Edo State. I'm calling on all mothers in Nigeria to help me beg her to release or to free my son. My son is going through a divorce process and he's clearly not in his right senses now. I know my son. This is not him. Please, Natasha, the bead you put on his hand and on his neck, remove them and free him.
You know,
hold on. But that's not the latest. But we needed to give you that before we tell you this. It now appears that the Idibia family has petitioned the DSS on the whereabouts of their son. So this is the petition calling for an intervention of the Department of State Services regarding the disappearance of Mr. Innocent Idibia. Solicitors for the family, they're writing to urgently seek their assistance regarding a deeply troubling situation involving the client that he's been missing since Monday, February the 10th. This letter is dated February the 7th. So people are already calling out a bit of the kidney. Anyway, it is our brief that he left his residence in the early hours of the 10th in his loungewear, suggesting he was going for a walk but never returned home since then. Despite the best efforts of his members of family, staff, and management to locate him, reach out to him, family, they've been unable to establish any contact or ascertain his whereabouts. They talk about him being a responsible individual, a family man, a dedicated artist, blah, 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 that his person. They're also saying that the family members are distressed. They're getting calls from several of his close friends that have received messages from what appears to be his social media account soliciting financial assistance. These messages are alarming as Mr. Innocent is financially independent, has never required assistance in any manner. So this is leading his family to suspect that his identity may have been compromised, and there's also the implications of this situation are grave, and the possibility of foul play or coercion cannot be overlooked. As a family, our clients are deeply worried not only about his physical safety, but about the potential misuse of his identity. In light of this, we're asking for the intervention of the DSS in locating Mr. Innocent. There's a second page to it. Okay, this is
who release him.
All right.
No,
how do you look for someone who is not lost? What is this? Is this a joke? No.
With everything that they have explained there, it seems more serious.
More serious. Mr.
You've seen the man. You've seen him. We
saw him at the assembly.
His entire
last week.
faculties, 12 faculties seem to be working okay. This is a man who has decided that he has taken his life in his hands and this is the direction he wants to go. Mommy, don't do that, because when we expected that you would say something, when Nigerians expected you would say something with the messiness around your son and his soon-to-be ex-wife, you were silent. Now you are begging Nigerian mothers to help you do what? A man that voluntarily went to Edo State. They even told him, welcome to Edo State. They welcome you. Even if we're not sure whether you know exactly what you're doing, but we welcome you to Edo State. The man is in Edo State. Everybody knows he's in Edo State thanks to social media. So for Mommy, to come out and say that we should help her find her son, and they should take off the bid. Mommy, we are not there. You say you know your son. We can't.
No, see. You say you know your son. You don't know him more. That's your son.
I'm sure it's because his family have not been able to. Maybe Two-Face has just cut off.
Yeah, maybe it's just like
I don't want to hear any of your
things
nonsense.
himself.
Or this is my life and I want to live it this way.
So
I don't think I'm just saying they shouldn't take it lightly, because if they say he's missing, he left his house in his loungewear and he's nowhere.
Why did you have to put loungewear?
That's what they wrote in the statement.
You could have just said he left.
Maybe use loungewear for a reason, because that's telling you that they saw somebody going out who wasn't planning to go out.
So are you saying the person that is in Edo State is not Two-Face?
He's not in his right senses.
Are
you not an African?
Wait, we need to go for a break because I have not spoken. I have a lot of things to say. When we come back, we'll continue on this topic. Mama Rose, we'll talk after the break. I want to behave demure and hold myself, but I can't. So this whole Two-Face situation in the past 2 weeks, and particularly in the past few days, has been irritating to watch. With all due respect to his mom, you're not looking for someone who's lost. You're looking for someone who maybe you can't control again. Because at the end of the day, this man has made his choice. Where were you when as Catherine was saying, the messiness was happening? What also annoys me in the message is that you're saying that Natasha Osawuru put beads on your son and that he's being led through his nose. Two-Face is a grown man with
almost 50, if not
3 baby mamas, and probably apparently soon to be a 4th baby mama. And what you're saying is that he's not in his right senses making decisions. This man is in his right senses. When he left his wife, he was in his right senses. When he was doing everything he's been doing, he's in his right senses. All of a sudden, it seems to be a woman that you possibly may not be able to control. He's not in his right senses. Are you telling me that Two-Face is not? Come on. And I'm not saying that because we're Africans, but, especially you, Captain. I'm surprised you have not said
how come you have not been
spirituality aspect to it. Because people are counting how fast this has happened, how fast the announcement came. But ma'am, your son is evidence of what he has been for several years, and this step he has taken, he's not out of his character. No, so I don't understand why you're looking for someone who's like
it would have been more appropriate if she bends to the pressure, because what I see is someone who wants to dissociate herself from her son's behavior. So it would have been more appropriate if you just came and said, "Oh, I'm not in support of what he's saying."
Simple. But why are you calling her? I don't know the lady.
Remove the beat, blah blah blah.
Without you see, whether we like it or not, what you're telling us is that he's not responsible. That he's not responsible for his actions, and I hate that.
No, but we do know.
That's what she's saying.
I know that's what Mama believes, but we all know that Two-Face is not a child.
He's not a child.
And the bad thing is that whether we like it or not, from time immemorial, women have always been villainized when it comes to all these things about love and all these relationships. Everybody believes that somebody did jazz someone to do. I always tell somebody that there is no cause without a cause. Even if they did jazz him, he head there. Didn't he swim in the water? At least it wasn't like they plucked you from your house and put the jazz on you. You had to go and swim somewhere.
And you were not going.
It's in your swimming that you're clamping. That's how fishes are caught. Fishes are caught in the
Solomon
net.
say yesterday that so much of the irresponsibility, men are allowed to leave
Get
marriages
away,
and walk away and
with-
because be irresponsible.
Yeah.
This society enables. And again, I'm so sorry. This video for me is showing yet again enablement.
Enablement,
You're
yeah.
saying that he's not making these decisions that people
his
don't
own.
like or that you as a family don't like. And it's wrong. He needs to carry all the karma, all the
consequences of his
responsibilities.
And that's why I said it's a wrong timing on her part. You sit down, you set camera in front of you, you tell somebody, just record me, I'm ready for them now. Madam, the way you would have just won the heart of Nigerians is when the whole messiness happened between Two-Face and his separated, and his wife, ex-wife to be. You would have just come to say, listen, this is not how. Just say something.
Or keep quiet.
Or just keep quiet. Don't just come and say they should remove the bead from. You're not even hinting. She didn't even come out clearly to say spiritual, whatever. But there's the undertone.
It's the undertone, which again places the blame on the woman, on Natasha.
Chubaba has been consistent in this his life philandering. He has been consistently on the streets. I
will continue to say that if a fish needs to be caught, you have to be in the river. And when they throw the net, if you are there within the vicinity of the fisherman, he will enter the net and the rest is history. This is Africa. He swam in the river with his own free will.
How are they looking for a man that we saw in the State House of Assembly? How are they looking for a man that we saw propose?
That was like weeks ago.
How are they looking for a man that was in the club in there?
In addition, he was not alone there. He had his normal entourage, so he was not alone to say.
This is history when he was proposing. Let's take comments. Two-Face should listen to his mom. Once a mother sees sitting, climbing a Iroko tree, you will not see it.
So she should call him now.
Next one. It's all right. With all due respect, Ma, you failed as a mother. Wow. Two-Face is one of the most useless, senseless, and weakest men. He wants to make his relationship with that Natasha lady public, but only for him to throw his family under the bus because of, I don't know, I know what it means, but I can't say. Now I believe that what Kidi cannot conquer, nothing else can. What a finished man.
He agrees to be finished.
Is there a provision in the law on the matters of consenting adults, regardless of how the family feels? He's an adult, and and he wasn't under duress on the proposal video we all saw. I hope they all find solutions to their grievances. No, let's take this because we're not sure of these allegations.
We're not sure about that, but
we cannot speak to this at all. So let's come back to the studio now.
They can't intimidate. Yeah, you see, we practically touched on all these points. Blessings had said something yesterday. She had said maybe it is Natasha calling for something solid and saying, you must show me to the world. You must let me know, let the world know that.
Show me your Fusada song.
Asha.
It's not them.
Yeah, show me your. It's Asha now.
It's Asha, okay.
With cavemen, isn't it? Now she's derailed my thoughts.
That maybe it's Natasha asking to come public.
Exactly. That if you don't own me, I ain't gonna be yours.
Again, he wanted to come public because he liked her. So and I think that one of the comments we read where she said you have failed as a mother was one of the major scares that made the woman come out to talk, right? But regardless, look, at this point, whether they feel you have failed, even if you come out to talk or you don't, they still feel you have failed. So just keep quiet. And if you want to advise him, we don't all need to be sitting down under your tutelage. Call your son and advise him.
The fact that you're calling Nigerian mothers. Do you know how many people your son has proven to be a bad role model for? You know how to call Nigerian mothers.
Yeah, so that's for me. That's the Tolu. Please let's go on.
Let's go on. Is it
we
me?
won't finish.
And apparently, it seems that the week's drama doesn't stop there. Apparently, the Canadian government denied visas for Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and several other top military dignitaries as they were trying to attend the Invictus Games in Canada. On Thursday, General Musa spoke at the maiden annual lecture of the National Association of the Institute for Security Studies in Abuja. He described the decision as both embarrassing and disappointing, highlighting the need for Nigeria to strengthen its self-reliance. Let's take a look.
The courage to say that there's an event to honor our veterans, those that were injured during battle. Remember last year the Duke of Sussex visited Nigeria with his wife, through the Invictus, they have a foundation that they try to raise the morale of troops all over the world that have suffered one form of deformity or the other in the course of defending their individual countries. So we're supposed to be there. And actually, half of my team have already gone, but unfortunately, the Canadian embassy, for knowledge best known to them, denied us visa. So I wasn't sure, and so I wanted to be silent about it. But when we couldn't get the visa, I said, this is a blessing in disguise. So I'm really very happy to be here.
Now, it probably would have ended at that, except that after General Musa shared this information, some people might have thought he could have kept it to himself, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Rubadu, had a word for the Canadian authorities. Now, here's what he had to say.
Thank you for the courage to say that Canada denied you. They can go to hell. Even though it's painful, it's disrespectful, but we are people. We are strong, and I agree with you. We have to fix our country.
All right, so
I want to quickly say that.
As of now, no official reason has been provided by the Canadian government regarding the visa denial, but we're hearing they will release a statement today. That will be interesting to read. Yeah.
Do they have official clappers in Nigeria?
Flesh and blood did not reveal this. I was struggling.
The same people that were clapping in the hall of Balablu and in Lokon, it feels like they hire them, those particular sets of people to clap.
But do you know that there is something called applause you can play?
Yeah. No, this one has emotion.
This one has emotion.
It doesn't sound like canned applause. What you're talking about? Canned applause.
This one has
emotion.
So I think that they're humans.
So I want to say on this particular thing, there are several things. I've filled that visa before. It's a document. It's a document. But it's the littlest things that can get you cancelled if you have errors. So one, it could have been an error. Two, any country is entitled to deny visa. Nigeria denies visa. Let's not sit here and be like Nigeria does not deny. People who are coming for conferences and business, they deny visa. We've heard about it. But aside from that, I don't know if I would have shared it if I was him, but I'm not in his position. Maybe because he was expected to be there. But the Invictus Games are games to celebrate military veterans who have lost limbs. And you see Nigeria seems to want to go with the whole delegation again. They say, maybe we can't take all of you. Let's look at it. Maybe they said, maybe it's not necessary for the CDS to go. Maybe he should stay in Nigeria and focus on insecurity. Let's just help him to stay. I don't know. I'm just saying my own. But at the end of it, Nuhu Rubadu is the National Security Advisor. He holds a very important position, and he holds a very prime diplomatic position. That statement was undiplomatic. It's not a good statement. You're standing there and saying they can go to hell, and people are clapping, encouraging you. And it just shows the behavior of Nigerian politicians. Is that not how they even talk to Nigerians? So it's so simple for you because that's how you address Nigerians a lot of the time. You feel entitled to certain things, and then it comes out. You're saying Canada can go to hell.
Nigerians are unruly.
I think it's that entitlement. You feel, oh, you have all the funds to prove, you have everything. Why should... Who are they not to give?
Exactly. All they do.
Who are you? Do you know who I am? That mentality.
But the thing is,
Tolu is right on so many fronts. Listen, number one, first of all, they can and cannot. They can decide to give you a visa, and they also can decide
so it's not a diplomatic event.
Visa.
It was not a government-to-government engagement.
It may be that they looked at the delegation and said, this is just too many people. Why don't we do... So you don't have to... My brother, it's very undiplomatic, like very. Even when he was giving the speech, I kept looking. He wasn't looking at anybody. He was looking glazed. Like he wasn't looking at the camera when he said, oh, they can go to hell. So it shows, for you to say that with such venom, it shows frustration on some level. In regard to Kwesi, it's very easy.
I think he was probably looking at General Musa.
No,
most likely off the...
But in Nigeria, we like to do this solidarity thing.
It's almost as if you don't understand. It's not really about the office that you occupy.
So Nigerian leaders don't think that they are not known for separating sentiment from the position, and that's why if you want to know their true color, just poke them a little. Whether international, whether national, within, they will say what's in their mind, regardless of the position. They do do not respect the position. I'm not speaking for everybody, but the generality of it is Nigerian leaders do not respect the position they're in, and they do not care what the consequences of their unruly behavior or uncouth mouth can put the whole country in.
It was very understand. You expect much more from somebody who, one, has been in politics a long time, then you're holding the position of NSA. Canada happens to be one of our good partners in terms of even security training and even funding. Right now, US aid has pulled out. That's a conversation for another day. But we want to manage the relationships we continue to have. But when you tell people to go to hell, is that how you want to manage a relationship?
That's exactly.
Diplomatically, internationally?
And it gives the undertone of, I will show you. Like, I will show you in whatever it is you're partnering with this country. Whatever it is, I will show you. And we need to get out of ourselves. When it comes to that, guys, we need to understand the offices, because we are laughing stock. We really are. You are NSA.
My dear, let's go on a little break. We'll be back. Welcome back again. You're still on Jazz Siri, and of course, you know we are on all your social media platforms as New Central Jazz Siri. All right, shots have been fired left, right, and center. Tolu is trying to cool off. Catherine is simmering, and
I'm just so indifferent.
Yes, blessing me. I don't even know what to say. Lagos, anyway, Africa's largest city, is often described as the heartbeat of Nigeria, a place where business never sleeps and movement never stops. In recent times, something seems to have taken over the city. Darkness on its streets and highways. From major highways to the inner streets, residents find themselves navigating poorly lit roads, making them vulnerable to traffic accidents, robberies, and other security threats. New Central's Benga Borua went to the streets of Lagos to assess the situation, and he brought us back this report. Let's take a look at it.
Here in Ojota, one of Lagos's busiest intersections, where non-functional streetlights leave roads dangerously dark. Behind me, drivers and pedestrians navigate blindly, increasing risk of accidents and crime. Now, as we turn off our camera lights, the pitch blackness reveals the harsh reality many Lagosians face daily. This report sheds light on the city's streetlight crisis and its impact on lives.
Lagos, Africa's largest city, a thriving economic hub and a symbol of progress. But as night falls, larger areas of this bustling metropolis are plunged into darkness. This isn't just an inconvenience, it is a crisis that's leaving millions of Lagosians vulnerable and threatening the safety and future of the city.
So they affect our gun. Tí number one, at least,
if I'm passing right now, I need to hide my phone to avoid area boys snatching it because of the darkness. And for several occasions, you'll be seeing when they are running. You will not even know what is chasing there because the street light is not on, it's off. But if the street light is on, we can be able to know what is happening and know where to run to.
That street light, you know, walk well. You don't cause that accident. So this that line, that's priority line. He said that make you put that line for that rain. You know, some people they come, they enter, cause accident.
Streetlights are a crucial component of urban infrastructure, providing safety and security for residents and businesses. The lack of functional streetlights goes beyond mere inconveniences. It is a serious safety hazard. It creates an environment where criminals can operate unchecked and accidents become a regular occurrence, putting lives at risk. Lagos State has spent millions on streetlight projects over the years, yet large sections of the city remain in the dark. Why is this happening? Why, despite the funds and promises, the streets are still in the dark? Efforts to engage Lagos State officials for their stance on the streetlight crisis have been met with silence. For many residents of Lagos, these justifications are seen as mere excuses. The harsh reality on the ground paints a different picture, one of unfulfilled promises, poor accountability, and a lack of urgency, all of which are putting lives in danger. The human cost of this streetlight crisis is undeniable. Every night, the darkness claims its toll in the form of accidents, crime, and sometimes loss of life. In the absence of light, criminals find opportunity, and innocent people are left to suffer the consequences.
We want the government to do the street lights for the masses, because a lot of dangerous things happen on the way. And if the government can do it, we appreciate them.
When in the work, it helps us. Even though say no get headlamp, he can drive safety without any accident, anything for road. With the help of street lights, you can walk and do anything. I can see the person where they come from, front and back.
But there are solutions. Around the world, cities have turned to solar-powered streetlights, cost-effective, sustainable, and independent of the city's unreliable power grid. Could this be the answer to the Lagos streetlight crisis?
The issues around public infrastructure, such as street lighting, is very important to light up the state. Aside from the aesthetics landscape that streetlight is going to bring to a city of such to a mega city such as Lagos, is also going to bring it's going to make a Lagos a desirable city also to live, and also is going to boost the economy of Lagos. And that's why stakeholder needs to come together and see some of the what I call a multiplier benefit of street light.
Experts agree that a combination of innovation and community involvement could help turn the lights back on in Lagos. But can these solutions be implemented in time to make a real difference?
Behind me stands the Lagos State Government Secretariat, a symbol of power and promises. Yet, beyond Alausa's bright lights, darkness prevails. From Ojota to Ikoyi and beyond. The question on every Lagosian's lips is, when will these promises of safer, well-lit streetlights finally come to life? I am Benga Aborowa, reporting for News Central.
A very nice special report there, and I just want to add that a few days after that special report came out, the Lagos State House of Assembly actually spoke about the street light Up Lagos project on the floor of the Assembly, urging the governor to expedite the award of contracts yet again for the Light Up Lagos project as provided in the 2025 budget. And I know that Lagos for a while has been talking about moving to solar, so the one that you're providing generator for, the one that you're powering, however you're powering, the one that is solar, literally none is working. I take Ikorodu Road because of work. Even this morning I was coming, there were 2 accidents. 2 trailers ran, you know, the BRT lane. They ran the median in the BRT lane. Almost on a weekly basis when I'm going in the morning, somebody has ran that.
It's just unfortunate because I live close to Aja. Sometimes when you're driving in the night, it is so pitch dark that it reminds you of Oshodi in the olden days.
But you see, it's something and made everything better. And what Tolu has said is what we're talking about behind the scenes. So I say we've just accepted it as a new norm. In Nigeria, we say, what do we do? We've accepted it and we've adapted to that. It's not the first time we've heard about projects, contracts. What happens to these bulbs? Like one tweet said, are we allergic to street lights in Lagos? You put up street lights up, the first 2 weeks is beautiful, it's lovely, you feel like you're in New York. And then you just see the bulbs are missing.
I don't even think we know the importance because it is not luxury.
Who are these?
It's not just to celebrate maybe Christmas. It is for safety.
And Tolu also said something that it's like Lagos is a combination of multiple wrongs because you are also driving, you're seeing just one headlight. There was a day that I was driving, I saw one headlight, I thought it was a bike.
Meanwhile, the trailer.
Only to get close to me and I saw that it was actually a car that would have rammed me off the road. I literally had to move really fast.
I know.
Everybody's just moving mad.
So, and speaking about those wrongs, the wrongs are also part of the fact that we are destroying public infrastructure, whether it's thieving public infrastructure or people are destroying it just because they're vandalizing it. Even the criminals vandalize public infrastructure to make sure that they can have victims as well. So it's a combination of wrongs, but at the end of the day, the people responsible are government. We wanted to use this report again to call the attention of the Lagos State government to ensure that something is done. They're trying something different. I don't know if you've seen Ozumba with the ones on the road, but that's not lighting up Lagos. Anyway, it's been a really great show with a lot of top stories for you, the biggest stories from the week as well. We continue to follow them as they develop. And whether you're collaborating with someone special and celebrating today, not collabo, or showing yourself some love, or just enjoying the vibes, remember that love comes in all forms. It's not just about roses and chocolate. It's about kindness, respect, and being there for the people who matter to you. So because you matter to us, we'll be back on Monday morning, 10 a.m. West African time. From all of us here at Just a happy Valentine's Day. Keep the love flowing, not just today, but every day. And we'll see you next time.